My name is Maria 5. Welcome to my channel if you're new. Welcome back to my channel if you're not so new. And I'm here today with a tea and a make and a book. But first of all, happy Halloween, the Halloween edition. I've got my Halloween shirt on and I've got my little cat ears. And I thought about doing the whole face thing, you know, the whiskers and the nose, and well, maybe next year. But, yeah. So, I have a very seasonally appropriate mug, which I just got. It's brand new from the bargain shop. And, yeah, they had a few colors, and I really had a hard time deciding, which is kind of odd. But they had a burgundy one, this one, a cream one, and a green one. I kind of wanted them all, but anyway. If you were a fan of Rachel Makesy, she would love this cup. She might even have something like this. She has a lot of pumpkin cups, and yeah, it's kind of cool, her whole collection. So shout out to Rachel. Yeah, the tea itself is called Rose Marzipan, and it smells honestly divine. It smells so good. It smells like marzipan, which is one of my favorite little treats to eat. If you can find it, you used to be able to find it all the time, and it's just really rare these days. But yeah, so you know, I brewed a cup. Not in this very large cup. This is a really large cup. I don't, probably 20 ounces. It's really large. But I brewed a cup in my standard way using my standard teaspoon, or which is actually 1 tablespoon. We figured that out earlier. And it was kind of terrible, actually. I was like, okay, no, that doesn't really work. So then I thought, well, what if I add a little bit of sweetener to it? So I had a little bit of brown sugar, and I was like, yeah, okay, you know. I mean, it is a black tea, right? So like I do have milk in it. There you go. Yeah, like I have milk in it, but then I was just like, it just smelled divine, and it was really lacking in flavor. So I ended up brewing it stronger than my usual 1 tablespoon, closer to 2 level tablespoons, and letting it steep the usual amount of time, between 5 and 6 minutes. So otherwise the tannins make it quite bitter, and then a little bit of honey, and yeah, this is really, really good. But it took a bit of fussing, so but I'm really enjoying it now. So there we go. Out of my gourd teacup. And for the make, I've been playing around with this idea for a long time. I'm pretty sure it started off with Bridgerton, but I decided, and I made a reticule like a long time ago before I even knew what I was doing. I knew I wanted an old-timey purse, so I made one. But this is proper reticules, and I did a lot of research. So I've got a few of them to show you. So this is one of them. And you can just see how elegant it is, and they all just have drawstrings. Now, this one is quite large. It's 2D. And really, I don't know what women would have carried back then. So this is number 2, and it's a square design with a square bottom, and it was supposed to hang down, but I mean, I thought I was doing it right, but apparently not. But anyway, it's probably closer to the size that the women would have had. And then just a simple drawstring, and then you would just hold it on your wrist like so. And yeah, I don't know what they would have carried. I mean, house keys maybe? Did they lock doors? I guess they did in the 1800s, but I don't know. I can't figure out what they would have carried in here. Most women didn't do snuff. Some did, but most didn't. Yeah, I can't figure out what you would put in here. But anyway, reticules. Finally, the last one. And this is actually number 4. Number 2 just didn't happen, but number 4 is this. And this is the 4-parter again. And it's really large, and It finally has the proper point at the bottom with a tassel, actually 3 tassels together, and the top. And again, you would just close it. This one's long enough you could actually tie it through, or just tie one of those slip knots. And again, you've got something to hang onto it. And yeah, like, it's stunningly beautiful. I think, in my opinion, it's stunningly beautiful. So there you are. Those are the makes, and I had a lot of fun. It took a while because I was playing around with patterns and like how sharp the angles to the bottom came down, and then you're matching 4 different points, and it has to come to a point, and it should end in a tassel. So that was kind of fun and challenging, but I had a good time doing it. Yeah, so reticules. And yeah, it had to be from Bridgerton. I have no idea why I started this, except that I did make one a few years ago to go with a dress that was big and off the shoulders, and the fabric was really expensive. So, yeah. So we were in Yorkton, just as an aside to completely everything, finding the cord to these reticules, and we found a coffee shop, and yes, I'll just show you a little bit of video, a little bit of footage of this fantastic coffee shop. But I drank coffee, not tea. I know. Iced coffee, so good. If you like iced coffee, that is an amazing drink to have there. M Coffee House in Yorkton. And here we've got this really interesting wall. Lots of coffees and just a really cool setup. As you can see, the walls are purple. All the walls are purple. So of course I'm going to like it. A little bit of decor. And then the back here, they have this crazy mural of I don't know what. It's really neat. Really, really well done. And yeah, just lots of light. And it was pretty quiet. We were the only people in there. But yeah, just really, really nice. For the book, I have The Bell Witches. This is by Lindsay Kelk. And this is 2024. And she has almost 30 books to her name. This is, I would say, a coming-of-age book. Yeah, definitely young adult. I guess the only problem I really, really have with this is at 16, I had no interest in love, no idea about love, and I was certainly not looking for it. So I guess that's my only problem with this one, is she's 16 and like this is her very first anything, and she knows immediately she's in love and this is the guy. And I'm like, I have a hard time buying into that. And that's possibly just me. Okay, but I've never heard of a 16-year-old that sure of anything. Most 16-year-olds, they're sure of themselves, but only up to a point. They're sure of their opinions, but they're not sure of themselves. And so, yeah, this was a little bit hard. But if you can get over that, you still have to get into werewolves and witches and all that. So you're buying into a lot. But having said that, it's absolutely brilliant. It takes place in Savannah, Georgia. We meet Emily Caroline James, only that's not her real name. As she finds out, she is Emma Catherine James Bell, and she goes through a real process, and it's written really, really beautifully that way, in that she is suddenly an orphan. She lost her mother an awfully long time ago, and suddenly her dad dies, and she's in Ireland, and yeah, that's it. So suddenly this stranger shows up going, hey, you're my cousin, come with me. But she's only 17, or she's not even 17. So she has to go. I mean, she has no choice, really. She's not considered an adult yet. Can't make her own decisions. So off she goes with this complete stranger to America. So she starts digging in and finds out, like, her dad has traveled all over, taken her with him. He was a single parent, obviously. And she's been all over the world. He's doing research. And we only find out much, much later what he was actually researching, which is in and of itself absolutely fascinating. So everything she thought she knew about herself she finds out a lie. And there's a lot of reconciliation that's got to go on up here. And that part I think is brilliant. It's really a coming to terms with her father and the lies and why the lies. I'm not going to give too much away here, but wow. So she is in Savannah, Georgia, and she meets Wynn. And Wynn, as it turns out, is a werewolf, and she is a witch, a bell witch, and there's lots of history to all of it, which she then has to learn. And at 17, there's a ceremony, a ritual, and she comes into her magic per se full blown. But she has magic now. And so she's practicing that. Her crazy grandmother who's guiding her, teaching her, and you have to buy into that. But if you do buy into that, it's a great story. It really, really is. So I'm just going to read you a little bit. The very beginning of it. This is just to give you a little taste. And as you can see, this really is the very, very beginning of it. But it's to entice you, I think. There is always a before and an after. That's what she told me. Before my father died, before I came to Savannah, before we all learned the truth about who I really was. Before was easy. After was more complicated. Before Bell House, before Wynn, before my grandmother, after the wolf, before I fell in love, after I took a life. There is always a before and an after. Wow. So yes, the Bell Witches, Lindsay Kelk. And it's, I think, rather appropriate for Halloween to be talking about witches and spooky and magic. Not that that would ever stop me from talking about magic, because, as you know, I really like magic. Anyway, I hope you enjoy. I hope you give it a shot. And it really is quite brilliant. Yeah. But again, YA, coming of age. You have to... it's not your typical adult fiction. So with that note, please like, please subscribe, and we will see you a couple of Fridays from now. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.